So I went into At Home this weekend and it was crazy crowded. It was people in every store everywhere. It was weird. Friday, no, I couldn't find anybody anywhere, but then Saturday came and bam, there everyone goes. But anyway, almost like half the stuff was picked over, but there were still a good amount of things left. So I said, let me whip out my camera and get some clips. I got most of what they had in there, shockingly, even though I just filmed quick clips here and there and it was crowded, so I didn't want to get all the millions of people in the shot in the background. But I will say the snowmen here were so cute. I went over there, they're soft, they're not actually hard to the touch, but I touched it and it started swaying side to side, so I hope it comes with anchors to anchor that down if you put that outside on your lawn. But I will say they had the pink collection. They had some in two different spots. They had some right at the door, and then they had some in another aisle. And I think they did a really good job. I think Michael's pink was better. I didn't actually get a chance to film with Michael's, but they have pink. And if you get a chance to go on Michael's and you want to do a pink thing for Christmas, I think that's the perfect place to go. At Home has nice stuff too. They even have peppermint and pink. So if you want to do a peppermint theme, but you want it in pink, this is the perfect place because I've never seen pink peppermint Christmas decor. So that's really cool if you like pink. I hate pink, but even I think that's cute. But Michael's, they are 50 and 60% off of all of their Christmas, but I've noticed Michael's does not put prices on their tags anymore. I don't know what they're doing, but they just don't. And that was a deterrent for me to go in there and buy anything other than like the fake snow that I needed. But yeah, they took the prices off their tags. I couldn't believe it. How am I supposed to know what I'm paying for if there's no price on the tag? So that kind of really annoyed me. But I will say At Home, they don't have the prices on half their tags either, so I have to literally look up what I'm looking at in store online so I can get a price. Just so you know, a lot of stuff will not have the price on there, so whip out your phone and check the price online. Like this cute Noel sign and even the nativity that was on the floor, it was pretty big, it was a nice size. There were no prices, but there was like a huge something else that was like nativity near there that was 170 something, and it was smaller than that one, so I can assume that one is like 2 or 3 something. But these reindeer, I was in love. They're even better in person. These reindeer are so pretty, even though they're kind of like the disco ball thing. They're gorgeous, and I definitely hope they bring them back again next year. And I think I'll get those next year and then probably put them in the entryway or something. But they were so gorgeous. I had to run over and look at them. And that reindeer, that was a stuffed reindeer, isn't that from the Santa Claus? Because I kept looking at it and saying, what movie is this from? My sister said, it's from the Santa Claus. And they made it look exactly like the reindeer. So I thought that was so cute. You can maybe even get away with doing a Santa Claus theme. You know, the movie with Tim Allen, like maybe even get away with doing a theme. All because they had that reindeer. They have 3 of those different reindeers. And I thought that was pretty cool because it looks exactly like the movie. They had a lot of gingerbread. Most of the gingerbread that was left anyway was pink. So if you're going to do gingerbread theme, you need more stuff. They kind of only had pink left. I don't like pastel gingerbread. So if you're not doing pastel, you're probably out of luck. And you can see, like I said, it is very picked over. But even though it's picked over, they had a lot of stuff left. A lot of cute stuff too. I did my peppermint tree. I'm obsessed. I love it, but I will say that At Home has peppermint stuff, but all of it was tinsel. None of the peppermint things I got from Hobby Lobby were tinsel. So if you're looking for a tinsel peppermint, or you need to add to your peppermint and you don't mind it being tinsel, or you think it might clash, just note that the tinsel in At Home is the peppermint At Home is tinsel. These polar bears, minus the ones that were on the ground, they were a little creepy. They looked like they were kind of melted into each other. The polar bears were so cool, especially the one that was standing up. And I've been thinking about doing a polar bear theme one of these Christmases, and seeing the polar bears in store kind of made me feel like maybe I can actually go for it, because they had so many different ones that you don't need a lot because it probably would become overwhelming, but they have a good amount in a very decent size. They were not small, so where you can do a polar bear theme and it can still come off like kind of Christmas, because they have all the other pieces there that go along with them. They have a lot of nativities. They had the pretty crystal looking ones. They're not really crystal, they're plastic. They had different types, like small ones, big ones, metal ones, plastic ones, and then they had these gorgeous angels that they didn't come up yet. They look like crystal, and they have trumpets, and they light up, and their skirt looks like shimmer. And I think I saw them in At Home. So if you can't get to, not At Home, duh, we're in At Home, in Home Goods. So if you can't get into At Home, I'm pretty sure I saw the angels that's going to come up in Home Goods. It wasn't a lot. It was only like maybe one or two, but they had them in there. But those angels were gorgeous. I mean, I liked all the crystal things, faux crystal that they had in there. The reselection, the reselection wasn't very large, but they still had some left that you can work with. You might be able to add to some or maybe take some things away, but it wasn't really much left. And so I don't know if they had a lot or if yours will have a lot, but they still did have some. And they had crown tree toppers. Now, I got into disagreement with my sister. We were going back and forth debating. I said, this looks like the Pope's hat. These crowns, I guess I get what they were going for, but it looks like the Pope's hat to me. One of them looks more like the Pope's hat than the other. I don't know remember which one, but it looks more like his hat. And she said, no, it doesn't. I said, yes, it does. She said, no, it doesn't. I said, yes, it does. So then I asked my other sister so she could break the tie, and she agreed with me, so I was right. But I will say it did not look right on top of the trees. No. Somebody had one on top of a tree to get an idea what it looks like, but it looked really stupid. I'm just going to be honest. So if you're going to get it, I'm thinking about getting it for Resurrection and then sitting it on top of a pillow, like Jesus is the King of Kings. Like, that's probably what I will do, maybe. But on top of a tree, you might be able to work it. But I was surprised at how bad it looked when somebody put it on top. Their floaties, I feel like they had a lot of their floaties were already sold out, but they had the very gigantic ones left, including a 20-foot reindeer, which was massive. It was so insane to see that thing in person. So you still have some floaties if you want to go in and get them. And the floaties are 50% off. All of the Christmas decor at Home is currently 25 off, but the floaties are 50. That's a good deal for the season to still be going on. And so I say go in and check it out if you see anything you like. But you better hurry up because people are still shopping for their decor and it's going fast. I hope you saw what you like. Hope you like what you saw, and I will see you guys in my next one. Deuces!